driving on a two-lane road. Suddenly, an oncoming car pulls out to pass. You're dangerously close to a head-on collision. Hi, I'm Christopher Reeve, and welcome to the Valvoline National Driving Test. Would you know what to do in that situation? Unfortunately, many people don't, sending their cars to graveyards like this and themselves to another kind altogether. Well, let's start the program with a question. What part of the car causes the most accidents? The answer, of course, is the driver. 85% of all traffic accidents are caused by mistakes made by drivers. And since about 164 million of you drive, we're going to help you learn some things that could save your life or someone else's. It's a test of your driving knowledge. 25 questions totaling 100 points. This test has been developed in association with the National Safety Council, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, and the Automobile Association of America, as well as other safe driving organizations. Look at it as a wake-up call, designed to help you wake up to the fact that there's something you can do to be a better driver and help reduce the staggering number of traffic accidents in this country. Over 2 million disabling injuries and close to 50,000 deaths a year. Now, to take the test, all you need is an answer sheet from the current TV guide, or you might have this booklet put out by Valvoline. If not, a piece of paper and a pencil will do. And at the end of the program, we'll add up our scores and see how we did. Part one of the test is called the good defense. When we come back, we'll find out what we can all do to protect ourselves on the road.
Christopher Reeve will be right back with guest stars Meredith Baxter Burning, Dick Butkus, Walter Cronkite, Sarah Gilbert, Hulk Hogan, Bruce Jenner, Harry King, Lorenzo Lamas, Paul Newman, John Ritter, Susan Rattan, William Shatner, Susan Sullivan, Randy Travis, Al Unser Jr., and Betty White. The Valvoline National Driving Test. Can you meet the challenge?
This important program is brought to you by Valvoline Motor Oil and the people of the Valvoline Oil Company.
I think everybody thinks they're an expert when it comes to driving. I think we all think that we are the best driver there is. Obviously, that's not the case. Each one of us can learn more about good defensive driving. One of the big reasons why Valvoline is sponsoring this national driving test is to give people that kind of an experience. Let them take a test. Let them find out how much they know and how much they don't know about the rules of the road.
Welcome to the Valvoline National Driving Test. There's a motor oil that talks about quality. Always has, always will. Well, Valvoline makes the highest quality motor oil recommended by any automobile manufacturer. Oh yeah, unlike the competition, Valvoline also makes the motor oil used by 7 out of 10 Indy 500 crew chiefs. That's 7 out of 10 Indy crew chiefs over the last 10 years. People who know use Valvoline.
There is nothing that I enjoy better than racing Indy cars. It's a good feeling to know that you have the best race car that is on the racetrack, or is, in our terms, the most hooked up car that's out there.
The oil temperature coming out of the engine before it gets to the oil cooler is probably somewhere close to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. And if it starts to break down, then that's when it's going to cause you problems.
In the 12 years of IndyCar racing that I've been in, I've always used Valvoline. I've never had an oil-related engine problem.
I think we have had enough experience with Valvoline in the race car that we know that that's one part of the race car on race day that we don't have to worry about.
You can't get a better product than what Valvoline has to offer.
People who know use Valvoline.
You can't settle for second best. The minute you do that, you're settling for second place.
Now, back to the Valvoline National Driving Test, starring Christopher Reeve.
Yo, maniacs! I'm Hulk Hogan, and I yield to nobody. And when I'm wrestling in the ring, I yield to nobody. But when I'm on the road, I always yield to an emergency vehicle with its lights flashing and siren going. It's probably on its way to pick up the last dude who thought he could beat me in the ring. And take it from me, when I'm on the road, I never insist on the right-of-way. I can handle a 300-pound wrestler, but I'm no match for a 3,000-pound car. And neither are you.
Hi, I'm Susan Sullivan. Excuse me, I'm just finishing my lunch. I didn't have time between appointments. Uh-oh. I think I passed the block I'm looking for. No, I'm really not good with maps. Obviously not written for anybody on planet Earth. No, I'm okay. 17 block. Oh, tell you, driving makes me thirsty. I don't know about you. Oh, great, I smeared my lipstick. Hold on a second, okay? Oh, forget about hours. There're just not enough minutes in the day. Whoops. Hi. No, I'm on my way. Yeah, I know I'm late. Well, I'll be there when I get there. No, actually, I'm doing a driving test. Uh-huh. Yeah, showing people what they shouldn't be doing when driving. Right. Well, as you can see, I am not driving this car. And if I was, I'll tell you, I wouldn't be doing any of the things you just saw me doing. Distractions like eating, drinking, reading, talking on the phone can take your attention when you need it most. Driving's not a part-time job. It's a full-time experience.
Coming up next, we're going to look at some of the unexpected things that might happen when you're out on the road and what you can do about them.
The Plymouth AAA Troubleshooting Contest, where the great mechanics of tomorrow go head-to-head.
It boils down to the ones that don't blow their cool. The gun goes off, and they run to their car, read the repair order, and then repair the car.
I've always wanted to figure out how things work, and a car is the ultimate thing to try to figure out.
This is the thing I am best at. Bring it. Done.
I have high expectations of my students. I ask and demand a lot, and I think because of that, I receive more from them.
He pushes us, and he expects us to work as hard as he does. If you don't have good oil, you're gonna run an engine.
Yeah, real quick.
We use Valvoline.
That's all I've ever seen in the shop there. It's Valvoline.
People who know use Valvoline. There's a motor oil that advertises world-class protection. Impressive. But Valvoline is recommended by name in the owner's manuals of these world-class cars. The other motor oil is not. Whatever you drive, Valvoline makes the highest quality motor oil recommended by any car manufacturer. Around the world, people who know use Valvoline.
The Valvoline National Driving Test will continue.
This is not movies, that this is real.
Life impacting life.
Very gripping.
William Shatner hosts a new series that could make a difference in your life.
911 is there to save our lives.
Real heroes in true life situations. Rescue 911 premieres Tuesday, September 5th.
Coming this fall, Richard Chamberlain returns to network television. Island Sun, Tuesdays on CBS.
This is CBS.
It looked like another boring month. He was going to rearrange his sock drawer. She thought they'd fix the cat. Then they discovered Southwest Airlines fun fares. Soon they were jetting away from just $19 to all sorts of exciting cities, seeing things their mothers had warned them about, eating food they couldn't pronounce, laughing out loud for no apparent reason. Southwest Airlines fun fares. If you've got $19, they're available now. If not, never mind.
And we'll have fun, flying Southwest on a fun fair today.
The 5th annual Hefner Streak will be held September 23rd and 24th.
Good evening from the TV9 newsroom. I'm Patty Suarez. The school bus that burned yesterday in Norman is still mired in controversy. Tonight, new allegations by an eyewitness. The story at 10. And why some people were forced to watch the program you're watching right now. News at 10.
It's a sensational story about a sensational deal. Let's go live to Kentucky Fried Chicken for the news about 15 pieces of new extra tasty crispy.
That's right, Dan. It's the Pick 15 deal. 15 pieces of new extra tasty crispy. Just $10.99.
$10.99?
The Pick 15 deal. 15 pieces of new extra tasty crispy or delicious original recipe chicken. Just $10.99.
Great price.
That's the story. $10.99. Now. or Kentucky Fried Chicken.
We return to the Valvoline National Driving Test.
Hi, I'm Betty White for the National Driving Test. There's another whole group of passengers that we sometimes forget to think about, and that's our pets. Over 30,000 dogs were killed in car accidents last year. So if you like to take your pet along for the ride, there's some safety tips to remember. First, don't let your pet stay loose in the car. Use a pet carrier. They're inexpensive and they'll save you and your pet a lot of worry. If you have a pickup truck, never let your dog or cat ride in the back. They can fall out if you're just turning a corner, or be thrown out by a sudden stop or an accident. Depending on where you live, it may even be against the law. Also, don't let your dog ride with his head sticking out the window. Flying debris can blind an animal or cause eye and ear infections. And never, repeat, never leave your pet in a parked car. Even with the windows down, the interior can get hot enough to cause a heat stroke or even brain damage. Finally, never let your dog get behind the wheel. Unless, of course, he's passed the state driving test. All right, honey, now, here's the ignition. Can you reach the pedals?
Who uses Valvoline motor oil? People who say yes to high-performance racing but say no to drugs.
ICY stands for Inner City Youth Racing. The neighborhood where the kids on my particular team come from could probably walk out of any one of their houses and buy drugs 24 hours a day. I'm a recovering addict, and I wanted to give kids an opportunity to experience something that they would not normally be exposed to. And what we do is they're my pit crew, and we take them all across the country with us.
Where I come from is pretty rough. I think if I wasn't able to join the team, I figure I would be a lost case. I love working on cars. I want to, grow up to be somebody. I don't want to grow up to be nobody.
And that's what we try to teach the kids, that if you stay straight and you go after a goal and you work at it and you're patient, you have to be patient. It doesn't come overnight. You can get what you want.
People who know use Valvoline. Who uses Valvoline motor oil? People like champion amateur racer David Tenney.
Some people have hobbies. They play a lot of golf. They play a lot of tennis. I play with cars. When it's just right and you're driving right on the edge, that's the best feeling there is. I'm using Valvoline 1030 racing oil. There's a horsepower advantage to be gained by using the lightest weight oil you can get while still giving the engine the protection it needs to run, because I don't like to finish second.
People who know use Valvoline.
Now back to the Valvoline National Driving Test, starring Christopher Reeve.
Who uses Valvoline motor oil? People like leading race car driver Al Unser Jr.
If a driver ever told you, no, I don't get scared, I'm not scared, he's lying to you. The technology that goes into the Indy car is second to none. Over half the field at Indy is using Valvoline. If there was a motor oil out there that was better, it would be in my car.
People who know use Valvoline. There's a motor oil that says it's engineered for today's smaller cars, like sports cars. But is that motor oil the first choice of the members of the Sports Car Club of America? No. Valvoline is the first choice of the members of the Sports Car Club of America. Valvoline makes the highest quality motor oil recommended by any automobile manufacturer. People who know use Valvoline. From the highest form of professional racing.
I'm trying to make my race car better than anybody else's.
To the weekend amateur.
I want a horsepower advantage. I want to win races.
From the great mechanics of today.
We're professionals and we're perfectionists.
To the great mechanics of tomorrow.
You have to really work hard to become what you want to be.
People who know use
Valvoline.
Valvoline.
Valvoline. We use Valvoline.
People who know use Valvoline.
Okay, let's see how you scored. If you got all the questions right, 100%, congratulations. You look great on paper. But remember that last year alone, 1 in every 5 drivers had some kind of a wreck. Watch out for them. If you scored 90 to 99 points, you're better than average. But it takes better than average skills to survive on today's highways. If you scored 82 to 89, that might get you a B in school, but it ranks only average in this test. And the average driver makes 2.5 mistakes for each mile he drives. 76 to 81, you're a little below average. Anything below 76, you have a below average score. You should really think about your driving. You might want to take a defensive driving course. This test by no means has a definitive say on what kind of a driver you are, but it is a good guide to what you need to know. And we hope we've shown you some things you can do to make yourself a better driver and some things to watch out for with the other guy.
The Valvoline National Driving Test has been brought to you by Valvoline Motor Oil. Thanks for watching, and drive carefully.
Well, let's hope the hour we've just spent will save some lives. We'd like to thank the following for their cooperation in designing this test. Thanks for joining us.
The Ford Motor Company is pleased to have provided automobiles for the Valvoline National Driving Test.
This is Harry Smith. Tomorrow, Coach Lou Holtz of Notre Dame, actor Raymond Burr on his new show, plus a look at the job that never ends, being a parent, on CBS This Morning.
This is Patty Suarez. Next, a new twist to the school bus fire and some people under sentence of television. Stay tuned for Newsline 9.